Coming up on WMLT News, Concord's men's basketball team makes history.
Also, a career showcase on campus gives Concord students a glimpse of opportunities after graduation.
All this and more coming up on WMLT News.
Hi, I'm Sam Wright.
And I'm Kristen Osborne. Thank you for joining us at WMLT News. The annual spring semester career fair showcase gives students some insight on what they may want to do after graduation. Here's Sam Wright with the story.
Before St. Patrick's Day was celebrated last week, faculty and students were feeling lucky about something else before spring break. The career fair took place March 3rd, attracting numerous people to interact with potential occupations. Not all could follow a rainbow into a pot of gold, as some students who are business majors have different necessities to speak to potential suitors.
It's harder for us, especially around this area. There's not many corporate opportunities, business opportunities. You do have to do a little digging, and your commutes are definitely going to be longer than other majors if you do happen to find something, so it makes it a little tougher.
Amid the frenzy in Concord's ballroom, an organized Bren Yeager showed she could handle all the flying parts on her first go-round.
To the gym. We've also talked about adding a career fair in the fall to get more of our big accounting firms in. They obviously couldn't be here this time of year because they've got corporate taxes due March 15th and then, personal taxes due the month after that. So this is the busiest time of year for them. So if we add them to the fall, then that'll create more opportunities for our business students.
Anyone that would like to request information about the companies present at the fair, you can find those sources at www.concord.edu.
Concord's men's basketball team tied together another successful season, but they still have room to improve. A recent trip to the Division II tournament gives more optimism for the Mountain Lions.
The past few years in Concord athletics has been successful, with teams winning the Mountain East Conference, making first-time playoff appearances, reaching the national semifinals, or participating in the Division II version of March Madness. The men's basketball team had a historic season by claiming the conference tournament en route to finding a spot in the national tournament. While the fun in the tournament was cut brief, Coach Ken McBride is optimistic in the future years of Concord basketball.
Look, I know unfortunately we are going to lose four very contributing seniors, but you return Aaron Miller, who's as a sophomore was first team all conference, and he'll be back. You return your point guard who's back, and you return a lot of the guys who've logged a lot of minutes this year. Bay Murphy, Stephen Thompson, Cam Shannon. So the sign of a good program, I think, is when you can just kind of plug guys in the next year and continue your success. We'll have to go out and get some guys to plug into the situation, but yeah, it's built for sustained success. Just look at our roster and the fact that we're playing a freshman. We redshirted some guys, so we're excited about where we are now and where we want to be moving forward.
The men's team has a great chance to keep this momentum, as only 4 seniors will be departing. With continued growth in the younger team members, Concord will continue to be a formidable opponent to the top-ranked teams this past season from both the Wheeling area and Fairmont State. For WMLT News, I'm Sam Wright.
Although Concord Charlie predicted 6 more weeks of winter, it's now springtime on the Campus Beautiful. Here's WMLT's Bailey Pace with an update on how you can spend your spring days on campus.
Here we are on the Campus Beautiful, and the weather is just that. And with all this gorgeous weather, you may be wondering what you can do to get outside a little more. Well, here are some ideas.
Try taking up a new hobby like skateboarding or talk to your RA about borrowing sports equipment.
You could even play a fun game of hide and go seek or tag.
And if all else fails, eat some summer foods, smell the fresh spring flowers, and enjoy life on the campus beautiful.
Also, if you plan on being outside for long periods of time in the sunshine, remember to wear a sunblock to protect your skin from cancer causing UV rays.
A self-defense class took place earlier this month on Tuesday, March 8th, in the lobby of the North Towers dormitory on Concord University's campus. The instructor of the class, Chief Deputy Daryl Bailey, wants students to learn to defend themselves from possible attacks or even prevent getting bullied. Although it was a self-defense class, Chief Deputy Bailey says he would rather teach someone how to prevent an attack than for them to have to use physical self-defense.
Intramural sports are popular around campus and creates opportunities for students to be active and involved on campus. WMLT's Josh Bennett gives us a look at CU intramural basketball.
With the NCAA tournament in full swing, Concord University is hosting its own version of March Madness. Intramural basketball.
Intramural basketball is just a fun way for students to get active, get out of their room, have a good time. I mean, Concord is a school really big and based upon education. So nevertheless, you gotta have some relaxation to compensate that education.
With most of the focus on the students on the court, Intramurals Director Chris Smallwood emphasizes the importance of the students on the sidelines.
Intramurals wouldn't be a success without them. I hire students all the time that have never reffed a game. They may be a little intimidated, to make that call. You would see like maybe 2 sports later get more confidence in themselves of making the calls, and then I can actually see the people from the other teams actually have confidence. They, at first they'd be like, I don't want that guy reffing my game, but by the end of the season they're like, we want that guy.
Some students play for the love of the game.
Just playing the sport is my biggest passion and love. So that's really what I get from it.
So whether you're looking for some friendly competition, just to have a little fun, or to meet new people, intramural sports might be the thing for you. For WMLT, I'm Josh Bennett.
To get information on the next round of intramural sports, you can contact Chris Smallwood.
Coming up after the break, the town of Athens gets a digital upgrade.
Also, Open Mic Night returns to an area business. Stay tuned for these stories and more on WMLT News. Welcome back to WMLT News. ISIS assumed responsibility for a terrorist attack earlier Tuesday morning in Brussels, Belgium. The Belgian government officials say that 20 were killed at the Mailback metro station, while 10 more were killed at the Brussels International Airport. Sources say that a nail bomb, chemical weapons, and an ISIS flag were found during a house search in the neighborhood nearby the incident. Belgian officials are currently on the lookout for one of 3 suspects possibly involved in the attack. Johan Verbeke, the United States ambassador for Belgium, insisted that his country will remain active in the anti-ISIS coalition.
Open Mic Night has returned to the room upstairs, and I was there to check out the reopening of the weekly event.
You just be real with me.
The Riff Raff Arts Collective reopened the room upstairs for Open Mic Night on March 7th. Community members filled the room to listen and perform for the first time in months. Lori McKinney, director of the Riff Raff, explains some of the issues they faced, which led to Open Mic Night being closed for such a long period of time.
It's extremely expensive to heat this room, and it's also a big time investment for us to give our time to every week, get the room ready, and for Robert to do sound for 5 hours at a time. So we've been doing this for 10 years now, and we felt like we deserved a break, and want to be able to have this as a year-round venue. We've applied for some grant funds, which we're very hopeful that we're going to to get, and if we're able to have some major funding, we'll be able to keep this open year-round.
McKinney also explained the few things behind the scenes that they had done to the room while they had been shut down.
Robert had a lot of lighting that he had to install, so you'll notice the stage tonight is a lot brighter, more vibrant. It's got a lot of moving lights, and so there's a lot of wiring. For periods of time while we were closed, the room was upside down. We were cleaning out rooms and stuff like that. But
The Riff Raff's room upstairs has been closed down for over 6 months now, and since the reopening, the people of Princeton have been more than excited to get back up on stage.
I'm really excited that it opened back up. I kept my Mondays free for the past couple months, just hoping that it opened back up again, because this is just one of the essential pieces of my life. It's really great community. Everyone's just super nice, and it's just a fun time.
The room upstairs has open mic night every Monday night starting at 7 p.m. located on Mercer Street.
Many towns and cities operate a website that informs their residents about government, services, and attractions. Athens, West Virginia currently uses Facebook for this purpose. However, there is a plan in the works that will give Athens an official site. WMLT's Joe Fadley went out into the community to get the 411 on the website.
Here in Athens, West Virginia, residents have to use Facebook in order to find out what's going on in their town. But a renovation to the website, townofathens.com, will soon give residents a new avenue to what's happening here in Athens. I visited Athens Town Hall to speak with Mayor Tim Pike about the website. Roger Loke, assistant principal for Raleigh County Schools and Athens resident, was also in attendance. Roger Loke updates the Facebook page regularly and spoke about why they currently use Facebook as opposed to a traditional website.
The Town of Athens Facebook page basically came out of the idea of an absence of the Town of Athens website.
Mayor Pike said the old website just listed council minutes, ordinances, and a few pictures.
It wasn't really user friendly, and we couldn't update it easily, couldn't put information out for the public. Needed to improve on. The whole site pretty much needed to be improved.
In addition to the council minutes, ordinances, and pictures, Mayor Pike spoke on what we can look forward to for the newly renovated website.
With the new website, we'll have forms where people can fill out if they're coming in for a water deposit or something. They're renting a house or buying a house here in town. It'll also have information on contacts, who to contact in the public works department or the office or the police department.
Mayor Pike also said a list of events would be something that the newly renovated website would offer.
We also want a community calendar or a community area where things can be posted.
According to Mayor Pike, the townofathens.com renovation should be complete within the next 30 days. Until then, residents can continue to use Facebook for information regarding their town. For WMLT, I'm Joe Fadley in Athens.
Thanks for the update, Joe. President Obama landed in Cuba on March 21st to begin a historic diplomatic trip. Since it was announced in 2014 that the trade and travel ban between the United States and Cuba will be lifted, both countries are now taking steps to integrate. Although old grievances on human rights issues still linger between both the United States and Cuba, both Obama and President Raul Castro seem optimistic about future diplomacy.
What's new and what's worth watching at the box office and in the Red Box? Here's Jesse Stevens with the next installment of Ticket or Leave It.
Hey everyone, Jesse Stevens here, and welcome to this week's Ticket or Leave It. Today we're checking out the new film, The Walk. This movie tells the story of a charismatic French thrill-seeker named Philippe Petit. Philippe grew up in the 1960s and spent his entire life learning the art of performance. He started his career as a street juggler, but soon moved on to bigger things. Philippe began walking high wires, but found that even this couldn't satisfy him. So finally, Philippe decided to string a high wire between the two World Trade Center towers in New York City. The Walk is an amazing story filled with tension and intrigue. The acting in the film is nearly perfect, and the cinematography is very powerful. The Walk scores 3.5 stubs out of 5, and still available in Redbox, so it might be a great weekend movie. And that's it for this week's Ticket or Leave It. I'm Jesse Stevens. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Jesse. With all the new music dropping this spring and summer, it can be difficult to find out what album to download first and which album to stream and skip the purchase. Blake Whitener is here with the Sound Booth.
Welcome to the Sound Booth. I'm Blake A. Whitener. Let's jump into the music. The first of this week's releases is Red Foo's Party Rock Mansion. This is Red Foo's first appearance in music since the hiatus of popular duo LMFAO. Party Rock Mansion follows the similar themes of LMFAO's releases, Party Rock and Sorry for Party Rocking. This album also clings to a similar sound of those two albums. Red Foo manages to keep songs entertaining with wild, irreverent lyrics and insanely catchy instrumental drops. Party Rock Mansion even includes a feature by Stevie Wonder. But despite all of this, Party Rock Mansion just doesn't have the same fun aspect to it without LMFAO's other member and Red Foo's nephew, Sky Blue. Unless heavy bass and electronic instrumentals are your favorite, you can just skip this album and stick to LMFAO's discography. The second release I'll be covering is by Philadelphia emo band Modern Baseball. To build hype about their upcoming album Holy Ghost, the quartet released 2 singles to whet our appetites until release day comes. The 2 songs, Every Day and Apple Cider I Don't Mind, individually feature the band's 2 vocalists, Jake Ewald and Brendan Lukens. Every Day is a much slower, reflective song, and Ewald's lower singing voice matches the darker music, while Apple Cider I Don't Mind has a bouncy tempo and features the higher, borderline whiny voice of Lukens. The band has received coverage through NPR, and they will be touring the United States with Joyce Manor this summer. That's all for the Sound Booth. Back to you guys, and thanks for listening.
Happy Easter, everyone. Reporter Portia Thompson, shed some light on the holiday and give some tips if you plan to travel.
Easter will soon be here. Easter is the celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. During this time of the year, a lot of people travel. Many people celebrate with their families and friends. Some people celebrate by going to church. This special occasion allows people to come together and make beautiful memories with the ones they love. For those who are traveling to enjoy the holiday with their families and friends, be safe. Enjoy this celebration, everyone.
That's all for WMLT News this week. Have a happy Easter and make sure to catch our next show airing in 2 weeks.